own music.
Well, they have this thing called copyright claim infringement, and they constantly, if, for example, if you play like sometimes, like today we're gonna play some classics, right?
Yes.
Okay. 9 out of 10 of those classics will be flagged. So at least I want to have another video. If they take it down, we could put it up later on YouTube.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you this.
Okay.
To the audience. Oh, we got Poland on the line. Jared, he's sending greetings, and Arizona. Everybody's in. When we're playing records, we will not speak because if they take it down, we want to get what you're saying so we could trim this later.
Okay.
So we could do it on YouTube because I've been having, as everybody's been complaining about fake book that they've been. So let's go back to the disco era. We all grew up in New York, and we were just talking about Mikki and I, how she actually, funny enough, she moved where I moved out of, because I was born in Canarsie, and she wound up coming right after, right after I left to go to Queens to live, and
that's why I got that accent.
We pick up right from there, right by Starrett City. We pick it up right from there.
The Brooklyn accent.
That's right. We pick it up right from there, and I wanna have Mikki share, you know, what it is from the humble beginnings of going to school, hearing the music, finding the club scene, and then what was that actually made her say, I want to do this.
Okay.
So, everyone, welcome Miss Mikki Afflick from Afflicted Records. I wish I had a big crowd. So, we're going to take it from just step one. Let's take it from step one. So, you move into Canarsie, Brooklyn. Brooklyn's in the house. Let's start from.
Well, no, I actually grew up in Prospect Heights, literally 1 block from the Brooklyn Museum, and the Botanical Gardens. So I would do my homework in the museum and in the public library, which was kind of cooler. You know, do homework there in the days, and then. In the mid-'70s, we moved over there. But I will tell you, growing up in Prospect Heights was a little different than growing up in Canarsie. It was like, you know, a step up. But then it was like boring to me anyway.
Yeah, because there's really nothing going on over there.
There was nothing to do over there. Nothing to do. There was the landfills you looked out. Right? And the smell. Remember the smell?
Before Starrett, I tell everybody.
The smell.
Before Starrett City, it was junkyards and garbage.
Yeah.
What a great upgrade. What a great upgrade, right?
Right, you get about 5 o'clock, that breeze that would come off the landfill, that breeze that you would get, that stench. But actually, my early start of music came from going roller skating at Empire I think we used to go every Sunday. It was Kids Hour. Okay. And I had 2 older friends. One was older, and I was older than the younger sister. So the 3 of us Jeff Branch, Karen, and Waynetta Branch. Wow, how crazy is that? His cousins, we would go. His family actually owned the Brownstone, a couple of, close by Empire. And that's what we did. We went to Empire on Sunday. Right. We got our skates off of, I think, Sly, off of Nostrand Avenue with the pom-poms. Yup, he said yup. And that's what we did as kids. And so that's where I first started hearing, the music, but I also heard it in the house. Because my dad also had a nightclub that...
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
What nightclub was this?
It was a Panamanian spot called The Basement. And all the Panamanians, it was an after-hour joint, and all the Panamanians would go down there. Him and his group, they would throw these boat rides to Bear Mountain, and so that's where I got all of that history from.
I've been wondering
so my
where
dad had a really, really big record collection. Not as big as his neighbor that lived across the street on Jerome Street, who his collection was like, I had never seen anything like that in my life. But my dad, I get a lot of it from my dad. So that those were the early years of everything, you know, salsa, fania, then the more traditional African music, you know, Feme and Mera Makiva and rest his soul, who just died, Hugh Masakila, Grazing in the Grass, you know, so those were things
Harvey
that like
Mason. I mean Harvey Mason. I'm sorry, Hugh Masakela.
Yes, yes, and then one of my favorites was Gato Barberi.
Oh yeah,
you know,
Fania.
I grew up. Yes,
So
saxophonist. Grew up with him. You know, so and then later on, being Panamanian, Haitian music became very popular in Panama. So that getting that influence also was you know was
Yes.
everything.
So your father, I guess, let's lay this on the line, had a huge influence on you musically.
He did, but my father was like no joke either. I mean, he ran a tight. It was almost like being in the military, you know.
Well, tell us about that. What do you mean tight?
Well,
as being
you know,
a daughter of his?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, and it's good. It's a good thing for you know for you know girls when they see when males see a father figure, they know almost that like certain things they can't do. You know, so like when you came, my thing was because I started DJing so young, you know, I was like one of the boys. So even if they liked me, like they would come to my house and I would DJ and play, you know, so it was like one of the boys. But my dad also like didn't take no mess. Like James Brown, Papa don't take no mess.
Yeah, like
so they kind of knew.
Don't be looking at my daughter like
they kind of knew that you know they could not like get over in any sense of the way. So you know he had a setup, and when the two turntables came out, he had two techniques. They were Belt Drive, but I think he had like a Gemini, a Newmark mixer, and I forget it. I you know would like run home to play these records, you know, just like literally from school. I didn't want to do sports. I hated sports. I wanted to just always do music. And that's what I would do. Come home and practice. And then later on, when I started going to the garage, I would, you know, practice the mixes that I heard Larry play. Or Sunday on WBLS, you know, you heard Frankie Crocker or you heard Timmy Regisford, you know, Saturday night. I mean, dance, quote, disco, before it was house, it was club. You know, that was a really, really big, really, really big staple in New York City during those times.
You know, she brought over a special USB with her music that she said she wanted me to play for her. And I want to play the first track.
What's that?
Womack and Womack?
Yes.
So before I play, you want to say anything else?
Yeah, you know what's funny?
Tell us about
that song. I was there the night that Larry broke that. It was a Saturday night, and I won't say who, but it was a group of us. We were on the floor.
You won't say who?
No, because, you know, some people now, whatever, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Life is different, and, you know, so it's always best to just, you know, not name names or things like that. I respect everyone's privacy. But we were on the floor, and when people talk about the garage, they only talk about like all the great stuff. But there were times when literally you wanted to take your shoe off and like throw it at the booth, you know, and like what's going on up there, you know. So this one night, it was good, and then Larry comes on with this song, and we all stop and we all like look up, like, what is this, right? And the thing about Larry, when he played something that he was breaking
and feeling it,
you knew that was going to be the record for the night. And so by the third time, hit it. You're slow, Lenny.
That's not me.
So you're on the floor and you're getting your stinking, and then this comes on. And we're like, what do we do? We slow dance? Like,
right, what do we do?
What do we do, right? So we're like, let me smoke a cigarette, you know? All right, what's going on, Larry? and then it starts to pick up a little bit, and so we're like doing a two-step. Half the floor clears out. We go
Norman
right, we go get the punch, right? Go get some punch. Go get a little water. But we come back. The coffee wasn't out yet.
That's right. It's a little early yet.
Yeah, it was a little early for the coffee. And so the song starts to pick up, right? And like Larry now is like, you know, you always knew when Larry was on because the music went from here in volume to here.
You know why?
They had that switch.
They had a limiter.
Yeah, they had the switch.
He'd pop it out, and all of a sudden the whole system went. Zuki would become like a beast.
Yeah. So, you know, the song comes on, and so like, all right. So right here, it starts doing something, right? And he's letting you know, like, this is going to be the record for the night.
Yeah, and that's
right?
exactly.
And that's so that's
and you're going
how
like
it's
this.
going.
You're still going. I don't get it yet. Right. I don't get it.
By the third time he played this, we knew the words. That was the impact. So fast forward now, I'm an electrician, and I have. This is before, you know, the USBs and Bluetooth.
USBs, this is vinyl era.
No, I'm talking about being an electrician.
Oh, okay.
I'm moving forward, right? So I got my boombox, and they knew me at work as Mickey Disco. Like 2 things you didn't do: you didn't turn down my music,
and don't play with her records,
and don't touch my boombox, right? You could hear that thing from forget it, right? So I had a partner, Medea, and every day. This was our song. He'd say, Mick, put my shit on. And me and this guy would do literally a week's work. See, it's building up, right?
It goes to the part.
Yes, we would do a week's work in one day, because this was the warm-up song.
Come on,
right?
Here we go.
All right, come on. So now.
So now this is where the room goes crazy now, right here.
Understand that, baby. No, I can't understand that. You ain't know who did it.
Yeah. Bring it down a little bit.
I can't understand that, baby.
Oh, last week was celebrating Louis' Grammy nomination.
And his part. And
yes, and Output. And Output has, if those of you that don't know, they have a no video, no camera policy.
How did you get your camera up in there?
Because I was there, and it was the moment, and you know, to watch Joe.
Joe who?
Joe Corsell.
Gotta tell people because people don't know.
Yes, to watch
DJ Joe Corsell from Body and Soul
in his element
with the crossover.
And he was literally having an out-of-body experience. He, you know, to watch him, but to just be right there, and it was like I was having a flashback, thinking, like, wow, I was there when this song, you know, was first broke. Thinking about work, it was like my whole life had just like literally kind of flashed.
That's what music does, right?
Music puts you, it literally paints the whole picture, you know, and when you think about it, like some of us have been friends now a couple of decades.
Yeah, it's scary.
We've been through marriage, divorce, first
remarried,
remarriage, ups, down, high, lows.
Who passed away, who's not with us anymore, who got angry, it's like that.
And it's always been the music that, you know, really keeps us together. So this right here, I had to add it to one of my, you know, that stuck out in my mind. And, you know, it, like I said, upon first hearing it, it was one of those things, like I said, you know, like we all were, like, okay, he has totally lost his mind now. But that is, I think, I think that was before. worked it to that. You would get a little bump, but not in the highs and lows. I don't think of that way.
Oh, I heard him sheen that system out where it was just bullets.
I mean, I literally danced out of my clothes one night. 2 songs I have on there that I literally danced out of my clothes. And I remember my friend kept trying to put my clothes. I have bodies, so, you know, I literally danced out of my clothes. Yes.
Fierceness.
Yes.
That's the kind of nights that it was like there, right?
So, you know, what's funny, right?
She went digging now. People.
No, I don't really have to dig.
No, well, let's put it over here.
Yeah, I don't really have to dig. I'm one of those people that I don't like a lot of change. Like, I've had the same cell phone number for like 20 years when it was, you know, $3 a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I've had the same, I lived in the, well, same house now, 20 years prior to that. Donnie and I, 7 years. So I haven't really moved a lot of places.
So you're a person that doesn't like change.
Not really. I like
That's
comfort.
kind of clear. That's kind of clear.
I'm a comfort,
She
yes.
just clearly said she does not like change. So that, what does that mean in music for you? Because music is constantly evolving and changing.
I change with that. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good. In changing with my sound, because I think I definitely have a sound, but when I change too much, I don't think people know that it's me. So I still try to keep certain elements.
When Larry Levan was at his peak, it was not genred music.
No.
It was a night, and they would call it garage music. Because I remember going to Vinyl Mania on Friday nights, and all the DJs, like Bruce Forrest, Timmy, all
right, go to Powerline.
Oh, Double Journey?
Yes, the sax mix, and I'll tell you about that. He said, okay, this was one of the songs that I danced out of my clothes.
She got naked to this record.
I didn't know I remember I had on a pair of Daisy Dukes. Oh, I always wore boots. And I had on dance skin. Those were real big, right? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't too much to dance out of, but for whatever reason. So I remember going to Vinyl Mania that Sunday morning and saying to Manny, Larry played this song.
Manny Lehman.
Yes. At...
Where are you, Manny? Tune in.
Manny ain't tuned
Manny Lehman. Oh, so too early. You know, tune in, Manny. Come on, girl.
I remember saying it had no words. And it went for about 15 minutes. And I said to Manny, it stopped, and then it came back on fierce. And Manny goes,
boom.
Yeah. Right? That was the connection between the DJ and the record store. But this mix right here, baby.
All right, so let's have Powerline, Double Journey.
That's this mix.
It's the mix. What's up, Jimmy? Yes, Ray. Smell, sample that. Come on back. Yes. No, you should turn me out. Yeah, we're good. Yeah. And when you're high,
I know nothing about that. Yes, everything. But you need the horn.
Antonio, what's up? David Shaw. Are you sharing this, David Shaw? Make sure you share this.
Right here.
Now, Francois mixed this. Francois mixed this.
That version is a promo. It was a white label promo and a gold label promo. That's a gold label promo. The horn, baby. The horn.
going nuts. I'm watching them all come in, writing their antics. If we didn't have pictures, it didn't happen. No, it happened.
It happened.
It happened.
We got the memories. We got it here.
Because here's the deal. Most of the memories are the same with everybody.
It's the same.
Everybody says the same story differently, but it's the same story.
But it's the same story.
So
that's why I wanted to bring that particular, for the I don't like to say the real heads, but you really had to be there to like witness that one with the horns. You know, a lot came after, but that one with the horns is, Bernice, if you're watching, you know, like, you're still my best friend. I would love to get my hands on that. I don't have it. She has it.
Aww.
Yeah.
Help us get that for Mikki. But Mikki, explain this about how intoxicating that was. Music. I
gotta say this.
They don't understand.
You know, I hear a lot of things about sound systems, but I can only speak for myself. Only one other place puts the music a lot louder, but it didn't have the same impact. And loud doesn't always mean better.
Well, nowadays it does. Loud is better, right?
No, but when I tell you, I would feel that music in places that.
So where was it? So where was it louder for you? You said now this place is louder. Where was this?
Twilo was loud.
Oh yeah.
Twilo was like
out of your mind loud.
Like ears bleed loud. I had never heard music at that volume. What was that system? Phazon system?
Steve Dash, yeah. That was I was gonna say Phil Smith and Steve Dash.
Now that was the loudest.
But it didn't have the impact.
It didn't have the impact. Like the garage, you felt it in your bones. Like you literally
the thrust, right?
The thrust. And as a woman,
explain that feeling. Please explain that feeling.
As a woman,
yes,
honey, if you didn't have no man or nothing, you go there on a Saturday night and just sit across from the speaker and entertain yourself.
He making love to you.
Yes. You know, smoke a cigarette after. You know, that's how intense.
You really truly worked out.
You were worked out in more ways than one.
Larry Levan,
yes,
working
in
the
more
ladies.
ways than one.
He probably didn't even realize that.
I told him that.
What did he say to you?
He laughed. He was like, "Thing,
come on, Thing, you're too much.
Just too much, Thing." You know, but one thing I loved with him, he wasn't. He had his way. He did have his way, but he was loyal. And when I say loyal, he was the type of person, like I remember one night, I said, "Larry, I need to hear some Sylvester." I bought it. And he said, "Then go over there." He would always call me Thing.
Thing.
Go there and get Sylvester. And I was like, I'm in the booth, you know, but I'm actually like turning this wheel of fortune. And the way that he had it, everything was like in order. And I wanted to hear over and over. And, you know, it was like, boom. You know what I mean? Or he would say, you know, if I saw him, I said, "Larry, you turned it, you know, last week or whatever." And he was like, "Did I?" You know, he still had that quality about him.
The humbleness, right?
Yes, it wasn't like, oh, you know. So he had that, and he also had sort of like an unsureness, if you could say that. But I guess that's also the humbleness of him.
But you gotta understand, he was at an apex, like, he could do no wrong. The best club, the best sound, the best people to play for in New York. As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, he had the best crowd.
Come on, there is nobody. Yeah. You know, I had Kenny Carpenter on last week, and he would say it. New York would boo you if you were horrible.
Yes.
Now, selfies, take a picture. They're not paying attention to music. Back then, they knew
everything, every mix. You left the club and you were able to tell someone what the DJ played in the order of which they played it. That's how in tune you were. Could we go
over and over?
Just a little bit, but no. Can we go to the Smokey Robinson?
Sure.
Okay, but could we just like kind of go? Could we take it to the 4 minute and 30? 4 minutes? Just before that. Is that 4?
Yeah, just about.
Okay. Okay, so this right here.
Everyone, this is Mikki Afflick, and these are her personal favorites from her time hanging out and dancing and being part of something amazing called the Paradise Garage from the dance.
So for me, like Afro, right, which you said, this for me is, I put this here as the start of what I knew moved me differently than the others. You know, like there were other clubs, Bentleys, and like that wasn't for me. I was one of those that I just needed to be in the underground, and there was a club underground, but I needed that rawness, that simple, that decadence. And when Larry played this, it did a lot. It's a lot going on in the song. Like a lot of highs, a lot of lows. That's why I said I wanted to kind of come in at the 4 minute point. But when this comes in, at the point that it comes in, like literally, you know, the floor was it was a floating floor, and the floor would actually bounce. So just imagine like 1,000 people and the floor going like this.
And when didn't you get? This is one thing that I try to explain to people. Now, when the Paradise Garage was built, it's a parking garage. So you can imagine there's a tremendous amount of concrete for the structure to hold weights of trucks where the garage dance floor would be. But when you're on a dance floor and you feel it bouncing, what's your first initial feeling?
Like we're gonna
die tonight. Yeah. I tell people this. Here we go. Education, everybody. Education time.
Grandpa classic. Nothing to it, but when I say we would literally wait the whole 6 days into this part, and this would get loose for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, he worked it for like
all right? Yeah. I'm actually doing something with this.
I want to explain that in a moment. See this part, guys? Mikki was saying something about this is very important. Like a part like this, Larry Levan would loop it and loop it and loop it for 20, 30 minutes. Some would get bored and some would lose their mind. Mm-hmm. In this case, Mikki saw heaven when she saw that.
I danced out of my clothes.
She's out of her clothes. She's out of her clothes.
You know, but I'll be honest. Some of the stuff when I was really thinking about it, I was like, it must have been the fruit punch because I listened to it now, and some of it is really cheesy.
Oh, you didn't know it was in that punch?
I knew it was in the punch.
I didn't know. First
now
time,
the coffee.
The first time I didn't know that it was anything in that punch. I thought
it was almost. It had that hint of blue.
Yeah, PCP. Well, peach and the well, David Lozada said, "You drank the punch?
Don't drink that punch.
What you doing, bitch? What you doing that punch? Don't you be drinking that." I drank 4 cups of it. They're like, "Are you okay?"
No, I never drank the punch.
I didn't know.
I wouldn't drink that punch, but I had the water and I had the coffee one night. And Betty, if you're still watching, I had that coffee.
And what did that coffee do to you?
I got the song. No, I didn't bring it. It's actually E2, E4.
Oh.
I forgot, but people know what that is.
Gotching.
Yes. I literally slid from one end of the garage.
Okay, keep talking.
All the way to the front, and this guy was dancing, and I actually slid through his legs. Because whatever was in that coffee definitely, let me tell you, Starbucks, they can't even handle that. You got it?
I'm pulling it up. I'm going to pull it up for those who do not know this song.
There you go, right there.
They will know it now.
Yeah. And when you played it, go down 3.
And of course, we got to get commercials on YouTube to get more commercials.
Oh, you get it now. But, and he would play the whole 32 minutes of it. That was another one. I found that actually for 25 cents in sound on...
that import was hard to find.
Well, I found it and I took the tag off, the sticker that said 25 cents. I should have kept it on there because that actually
nobody would believe that.
Made it more, you know. But you know, I think for me, this and I have something else. Being electro producer.
Oh, big time! This is way early in the game.
Yeah.
E2E4, right here with Mikki Afflick on the wrap-up show.
I actually wanted the first. Yeah, my dad bought me was actually I still have it. My dad gave it to me.
Mikki says we're going to take it to now because she wants to explain the beginnings and how it's now interluding into today. So now we're going to talk about her Dreamcatcher single. She'll tell you about it.
So that was kind of like an influence on this whole sound for me. So this Dreamcatcher was actually, it was entitled something else. I won't say the name, but it was entitled something else, and it was actually at one of the lowest points of my life. So I got up this morning and I was like, today's a good day to kill myself. That was just where I was.
At that time when you made the... Okay, yeah. Not today. At the day when she was thinking about making the record.
And so... it just came so natural. And so, when I tell you effortless, that I got my keyboard player. Can we start it?
Sure.
And you know, normally when sometimes I produce, a whole lot's going on.
I gotta keep it low so they can hear.
Yeah, a whole lot's going on. So when he came in and he said, "What you got?" I said, "I've been a little down," and I said, "This is where I've been." He says, "Let me hear." So he goes, "Damn, it's starting off stank," you know.
The word stank means it's fierce. I gotta give everybody. You remember,
they know.
Well, those who know Mikki Afflick,
universal.
Stank. When she says stank is on, you know his stuff is right.
Yeah, right. And so, like, all of this is here, and you know, I like to use samples, but when I use samples, I like to do different things. So
I hear the E2E4. I hear that doo 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 doo. That I hear not the sample. I hear the feeling.
No, but that's stock, honey. Do your homework. These kids, do your homework and cut that out. You know, be creative. Don't just take the whole. Be creative. Right. Do things. Warp it, flip it, reverse it. You know, stop that. Cut it out. You know. But I said it doesn't need a lot. And so I told him what I wanted. Okay. I had a whole lot of other things that I was working on, including a project with Josh Milan. And like I said, just so much was going on, and I had just got through like redoing the studio and whatever. Long story short, I lose the project.
How'd that happen?
I'm not going to even get into. Not only did I lose that project, I lost Josh's project. I lost the first.
So wait, it sounds like you lost the hard drive.
No, I had Apple. I had a freeze because I had upgraded some things on my computer, and it caused something had a virus. Okay, and when I called Apple, they told me to do a clean erase. So I thought, whenever you hear the word erase, that's what it means, erase. There's no part of erase that's good.
That means you can get it back?
Right, erase, right? You take an eraser, it's gone. It ain't coming back, right? So he says, we got to do a clean erase. And I had all of these projects on the desktop, getting ready to put them in the folder. Getting ready. So that's what I got up that morning to do.
The intention was there.
The devil's a liar and a thief. That's what I was going to do that morning. All right? So that's why I said I was going to kill myself.
I understand.
So he says, we're going to do a clean erase.
Who's we?
The Apple guy.
Oh, okay. I want to know who's
so
we
it comes back and it's totally... So I said, what happened to everything that's on my desktop? And he says, well, didn't you have it saved, right? I says, no. And then he stopped. He didn't say anything.
You heard silence.
I said, so where is it?
Wait, Mickey's like this. I call it the pregnant pause. So somebody says,
we're having a baby.
Everybody goes, in silence, right? It's a pregnant
so
pause.
I said, what do you mean it's gone? Gone where? Get it back. He says, I literally, listen to me. That happened about noon. It was November 8th. I believe 2004 at 12 noon. I was down on the floor when Danielle came home from work. She heard this like moan, crying. She made her way down and she says, "Oh my God, is everything okay?"
She thought someone was helping.
No, she just knew that it was a death in the family. I couldn't get the words out, so she had to sit down to brace herself. And she said, "Who passed?" I could...
Okay.
It would come out. It's so funny.
She's still trying to get it out. Like, what's this?
Calm, what happened? I said, my music. She said, no one died? So, wait, she went from, no one died. I said, no. She says, bitch, we have been through this.
You're not taking me there now.
We have, how many times have we been through this?
So out of something bad,
this came out, right?
So let me play it. Wait, out of that whole bad thing, this is what comes out.
But that is the David Morales pump. Who's mine?
Hang on, we'll let you go back to that. I want them to hear it too. This is what came out of that bad situation. Dreamcatcher, Mikki Afflick. For those who are tuning in, we're right now on the wrap-up show with Mikki Afflick, Brooklyn's own. Here's this thing. I love this record when you gave it to me. Told you.
I can't play it.
I understand. I didn't know that.
If you notice, it's rarely in any of my sets.
I can tell you're going like, you're tightening up right now. I'm sorry.
It's alright.
You played it. You wanted to be.
So right there you hear the sample. That's the sample. That cheesy, that sample. But all that's actually, that part right there is me. But, so, moving forward, right?
She still can't play this record. Tell them you can't play. Why?
It's a lot emotionally, and then not believing in myself. Because that happens.
Talk about that.
As producers.
You gotta understand.
Because we're people. We're still human. Like when Erica Badu says, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. I am. I still have a hard time sending my music, even to the biggest of bigs, because, you know, you're afraid of that rejection.
That's exactly right. Or you don't think you're quite there yet.
Yeah.
But the world, the world's
looking,
viewing you differently.
I'm always looking to say it's not right and I need to change something. So the crazy thing about this was, I think what really made this was because I had to rebuild on top of it. I didn't have my signature drums with everything going on. And that's what I was actually going to go back to do that day, which actually the mix that I had with that in there totally changed the whole feel of it. It was still so raw in its essence that's why the kick is so low. So move forward. I said, you know what? It's time for me to, you know, get this out. You know, I had some trauma, even with it. And so I just gave out a few promos, and Little Ray being one of them.
Oh, he's a great DJ too.
Yeah,
Little Ray, so, are you there? Reach out. Come on, Little Ray, where are you?
I give Little Ray a shout out, and I have to give Tomas a shout out.
Tomas Cologne.
Yeah, Little Ray went on Facebook and he was like, Mikki Afflick has this track, man, and I'm putting every DJ on blast who's not supporting this, Timmy. And when I remember
that I saw that
when he started naming the names,
he put everybody.
He was like, "You so and so, this one. If you ain't playing this," and I was like, "Wow, okay." So just before that, Ian was an early supporter.
Ian Friday,
and so I put it on on TrackSource, and it got lost. And you know what? You can't... TrackSource is... And this is what I have to explain to people. TrackSource is just a digital outlet for you as the artist and you as the producer, label owner. You have to do the legwork to push your music.
Okay, pause. Old school. It's like walking in Tower Records.
Right.
And there's thousands and thousands of vinyls. And no one's pushing it. So you don't know to go look.
You have to do your legwork. You can't get mad and say, oh, whatever, right?
Yeah, but they don't understand that. They don't
It got lost. You know, you got 1,000, 5,000
what?
Records coming out, releases a week. So
Shazam says 120,000
whatever. What makes yours more special than the next guy? It got lost. All right, but you know what I knew? At that point, I went from being a non-believer to a believer because I said to myself, this is too good to get lost. And so I pulled it, and when I pulled it, the next day, it was the Christmas party, and I didn't know that Louis Vega was going to play it. I hear this thing and I'm like,
hanging out in Cielo,
right?
Give us the picture. You go to Cielo.
I'm at this
Wednesday night, Christmas time.
And Louis got the Santa hat on, and it's the annual Christmas party. And I hear this thing, and I'm like, wow, that sounds like me. And I'm, looking for my phone, and I'm able to, get this video. And Louis goes, come on, Mikki. And I hear someone go, yo, that shit is hot. And the crowd, that's why I say, kind of have this thing where I said, and when this came on, the crowd went wild. When I tell you I walked through the crowd, try to grab some footage of this, I was like in shock. But the dancers were dancing. They were literally dancing out of their clothes.
Right.
That
tells it all. That tells it all.
And I said, I got something here. And so that I posted the video, social media. And when I tell you, every DJ who's anyone from the local bar to playing
from Queens to Tokyo, from Queens to Tokyo,
was inboxing me like, I gotta get a copy. I gotta get a copy of this. And I said, you know what? I gave out like the first 3, and then I said, hold it. I gotta put. Whoa, stop. I need some dough, man. I need some cash. Mama need bread, you know. I got a baby. The baby was just born.
Papa got a brand new bag.
Yeah, you know. Right, you know. So anyway, I put it on Bandcamp. I knew nothing about Bandcamp, but I put it on Bandcamp, and like all day.
Wait a second. I didn't know this. So you had no distributor yet on any of these records?
No, I'm my own distributor. You know, I got my own.
What I'm saying is you didn't have an aggregator handling, putting it in the stores yet. You just gave the records out to a few people and went to see if something stuck.
I'm old school.
Oh, she real old school.
I'm old school.
She would have came with tapes or acid tapes.
You know, early Mikki Afflick, I would have the pink CD and I would literally like stand over you like I was on a construction site and intimidate you. Yeah, like when you're hitting it, you know. I kind of had to soften that up. Because I know that some big names used to see me coming and they would kind of like, here she comes, roll their eyes. So I kind of, you know, kind of softened it up a little too much, I think. Sometimes you still got to give them that eye.
Yeah, like, look, come on now.
Yeah.
Do me right.
But
throw me some love.
So I put it on Bandcamp, and when I tell you, it was like all day. Ching, ching, ching. It was like nonstop. I was like, whoa, I actually saw some cash. You know, and then one day I went and it dried up. I said, what the hell happened here? And then I saw it was on like 10 million sites. They went on Bandcamp and bought it. Then that's balls.
And put it on free and put it out.
How do you go right? You know, you go on Bandcamp?
You Italian? He's got balls. I like it's true. It's the truth. It's the Russians doing that.
Yeah, bad. So, okay, so.
Poor Russians.
So now listen. Shit. I had David. I had, Louis played it like
he played for a while.
Louis played that song for a hot minute. Thank you guys for that, really. And David, I opened up my Facebook one day and he sits here, and I was like, but you know, David and I go back 30 plus years. I was there the night that he played. You know, at Paradise Garage. On
the Friday, right?
No, he played on a Saturday also.
It was a Friday he played.
Well, I don't remember being there on no Friday, but I know I was there for one of them nights. So it could have been, you know.
And actually, David, you out there? Tell us what night was it. Because you'll remember.
I will actually tell you. Word on the street was that he bought the fire. He bought that fire. I don't know if he bought it. He bought that fire.
Do you know the story behind that?
I know Judy had something.
Judy Weinstein. He gave the cassette to Judy.
Well, let me tell you my Judy Weinstein story.
Tell us your Judy Weinstein.
And that had me messed up for about
Judy Weinstein, Def Mix, the manager of Frankie Knuckles, David Morales, Satoshi Tomi, a very powerful woman in disco and in house. So tell us your story.
So you know, Larry was dating my best friend Stephen Gelby. God bless him. At the time, and they were hanging out on Reese Beach, and Stephen was playing one of my cassettes and one of my edits. It was Betty Wright, One Step Up, Two Steps Back, and that was one of my early edits. I had did a loop of Cerrone with something else. But, you know, back then that was like cassette. I didn't have any.
Yeah, cassette pause. The pause button was...
And back it up and tape it. And
that was your sample. The pause button. And you trigger... And if your finger was fast...
Man.
That's how your edits are tight.
Yeah, you know.
You gotta know how to play with the pencil, too, to push it back.
And the tape. And if you really had skills, you knew how to cut it. And then put a little crazy glue or a little tape on the back of that. Seamless with the little nail polish. You know about the nail polish? Like, these are skills, kids.
You make it work. When you don't have no gear, you make your gear work.
So they're listening to this thing, and Larry goes, you know, something to the effect of that guy is good or whatever. And Steven says, that's my god sister. It's a woman. And he goes, that ain't no Larry being Larry.
That ain't no girl.
No, that ain't no fish, you know. And he goes, wow, she's good. And so he says, that's the one that's in the booth with me. And Larry goes, no. Whatever. So Larry does an edit of my edit and says, make sure that I'm there. So that night, they play this edit, and like I just was like in heaven. It was actually an edit of my edit. And then he says to Judy, this is the one I told you. You need to hear her. And Judy says, here's my number, or I don't even know if she gave me a card, but whatever. Call me Monday. So we party until the wee hours of the morning. To the very wee hours of the morning. Now we're past Sunday morning.
It's church afternoon already.
We passed church.
Church let out now. Church is already.
Brunch is over. They're on dinner, and I'm actually making my way back home. Bedtime.
Right.
Long story
24
short.
hours later.
Yes.
Right.
From leaving Saturday afternoon. So it's now Sunday, about 11:30 p.m. And it was raining that night. My dad had everything on the front lawn. Like, everything that I owned, records, vinyl.
That was the same thing happened to me. I got a beating for that.
I took the whippings. You know, it was like abuse.
It was worth it for what you got.
My dad was an ex-boxer. Those beatings, but like, they lock people up for beatings like that, man. It was like abusive. But he wasn't going to beat me anymore, you know. I think I might have been like 19 or 20. Yeah, he was like, wherever you're going, you can stay there, but everything
is going out.
Was on the lawn. And I left home with $20 to my life. No job, $20. And it was raining so bad that where we lived, back then it was the number 2 train. It's now the number 3. The trains had to stop running because it was outdoors. So I had to take a cab, and that was all the money to my life. And I remember getting in the cab, and I said, maybe I'll just run out. And then I said to him, I have no money. My dad just threw me out. And he says, well, what do you do? I says, I'm in college. And he bought me. I stayed in my friend's dorm room like 9 months.
Wow.
Slept on a twin bed with her. And he said, just promise me that you're going to be something in life. Just, you know, stay out of trouble. And he didn't charge me for the fare. And so that haunted me for all of those years that I never was able to make the call. I never made the call. Actually, I had stopped going to the garage after that. Because you know what used to be fun, now you have responsibilities. And I was angry. I had a lot of anger, you know, thinking that somehow that kind of ruined my life. Hey, the music.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, so
no, that's real. No, this is what we talk about. The realness of how this really, I shouldn't say really, but how people's lives change overnight. Good and bad. So, you know, with that, what are you going to hit? Well, you tell me.
What we do?
You got Gwen, you got Ain't.
Okay, this one, I'm going to do this one for Arnett. Let's play It Should Have Been You.
Ooh.
Right up there. Second one.
One of my favorites.
That whole album, I had to think between...
Padlock.
Between Padlock, Peanut Butter.
Garage Classics album. One with Garage Records.
Yeah. But for me, the 5 minute or the 4 minute just does it to me. You know, it's the whole journey of the song. You know, from start to finish, to the vamp, to the build up.
How hot is that? Great, Mikki. Yeah, great. Hell yeah. People loving it. Georgia friend. Andy Paradise, lady. All of them in the house.
So this is for Steven.
Angel, what's up? Everybody's coming in.
Yeah, that one actually
So
was for Steven. There was a song off her album. It was I can't even. It was something. You brought the sunshine, and you're very special. You're very special to me. And we would always sing. I mean, we were kids, you know. And he died in 89, just shy of his 25th birthday. And you know, it was a time where so many people, you know, AIDS was rampant, and
we lost a lot of friends.
So many, you know,
music industry, and not even just music industry, just people, friends of ours.
Yeah,
that were a little too hard. And I think about consequences, but that's another story.
That's a whole nother, you know, like I always say, God doesn't, you know, illness and sickness, you don't go on the shelf and buy it, so.
No, it's not, it's just something that happens.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to that, you know, we're all like so, have this thing in our chest that we need to be like rock hard all the time. And it's nice to hear, you know, someone like yourself say, no. I came home, my shit was on the street.
Like everything I own with $20.
And where do I begin from there? So like, where do you begin? So you went to, you lived 9 months with your friend at the college, at the dorm room. So let's take us from that point.
She became my girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
She became my girlfriend.
So you lived there, and you.
But I'm going to tell you something.
Tell me.
Maybe if circumstances were different, it was just too fast. You know, she was a nurse. She was in nursing school. You know, she had everything going for herself. She didn't need that. She didn't need like that part of her life. You know, her parents, they didn't agree with it. But I literally.
Oh, she was still. Nobody knew she was gay.
They knew. They knew.
They knew, but
I mean, you know, now that I look back, you know what? You're not living with someone. You're actually homeless. If you're sneaking in, you know, there's no. It hit me like,
I'm homeless.
like 2 years ago. I was like, you know what? I was homeless. You know, if your name is not on a lease,
and you're not getting mail there,
and you're sneaking somewhere, honey, you are homeless. There's no nice way of putting it.
But wait a second. You're not this age. You're looking at it from a perspective this age.
Honey, you're homeless. I was sneaking in with a backpack. I had gotten myself, you know, I have a degree in graphic arts. I had landed a pretty good job with Xerox at the time. But, you know, I was saving money to get an apartment for us. And I was sneaking into the dorm room every day after work, praying that the guard wouldn't say, you know, let me see your ID. And this is how I know how the universe, this is why I just lead my life by faith. And faith is blind.
It's
but
true.
You have to believe.
Say it, come on.
2 days before we finally got our first apartment and was going to move out, the guard that had been there for the entire 9 months got another job, and they had a new guard come in. And I'll never forget, that was on a Saturday or whatever. And he said, you have your ID? And I said, oh, I forgot it. He says,
so you do it, you know, you just go like this.
He says, make sure you have it tomorrow.
Oh, and you're like, now what are we going to do?
Oh, it was a Friday, but we were moving that Saturday, whatever it was. And the same thing happened the next day. He says, you have your ID? And I said, I must have lost it. I'm going to go to student body on Monday morning and get a new ID. He says, where are you going? But everyone like knew me. Hey, you know,
hey, Mikki.
Yeah, you know. So he kind of
already.
like let me, and we moved out the following day.
Thankfully.
You know, so that my life partner, Danielle. You know, when we got together, you know, I always wanted to do music. She was previously with a former DJ and, you know, drummer and someone whose life was organized chaos. And she said, you know, I really like you, but in order for this relationship to work.
In order
For it to work.
You heard that, in order.
Yeah, and this is a woman who's been to the White House. Right. You know.
So break it down. In order for it to work. She's laying down the
she's
statement.
Laying down.
The statement
and I knew,
number one.
From the time I laid eyes, I knew that was it.
One period. Go ahead. What's in order for it to work?
She said, you're still young. You can always come back to it. But you need to set your foundation. Because, she said, I am not going to encourage the previous behavior with the past person that I was with being with a music mom. And she said that, and her brother-in-law, you know, was La Hampton's saxophone player, traveled all over the world. She grew up with Chaka Khan being in the living room and all the greats being in her home. She said, he has a 9-to-5. So you need to get a 9-to-5. Tomorrow morning you're going to go down to the electrical union and you're going to become an electrician.
You're like, what?
I don't want to become an electrician. I was like, tomorrow morning I'm going down and I'm going to become an electrician, you know? And so that was, you know, that was the balance. You know, I mean, I had, when I tell you I do a lot of things, I've also been a janitor, so no job is
too hard or
too hard to. And I was a damn good janitor. Like, I took pride in shining my floors. No.
You like Bookman?
Yeah, I'm like, no, like Desmond. Desmond? I do a lot. People say, how, you know, like, I really do a lot of things. I do.
But that's what makes you great. That's what makes you get better at everything else you do.
Yeah. And you know what? You do it enough times, you do become good at it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Then the more you know, you become the go-to as well.
I'm kind of getting there now.
Which is dangerous because everybody needs Nikki for something outside music. I'm not talking about just music. Nikki, I got a problem. I got a water leak. Hold on a second. Wait,
I just planted these, you know.
Wait, I'm hanging.
Might need some patience. What's going on?
I'm doing baseline right now. Hang on. Wait. No, Mickey. Shut that off for a second.
You know, I was also a dresser. I used to dress the models. And I dressed some famous people. And when they were not nice to me, I sent them out looking wrong and out of order. You know, so I've had a lot of jobs.
So don't mess with your dressmaker. Don't mess with your preacher, your janitor, your record producer, your DJ. Because she may not play right for you tonight if you make her angry. You better be right by her.
I always try to do that, though, no matter what's going on. I've been sick as a dog, and if those people are there, and I've had a heavy heart, which it might not be my greatest performance, you know, but those people are there for a reason.
To give you love.
No, not only that, but they're there for a lot of things also.
David says you're an electrician. Because you're there to fix his electric? Well,
I don't do it anymore.
No, you retired from that for a while ago. Yeah. So you left Garage. That went on. You have, you know, your marriage, the whole thing. Did you ever go back to the Garage?
I did. Okay, so my last, I didn't go the closing night. I went the week before the closing night.
September. We're at the end of the summer. Around that
in
time.
September. Mm-hmm. So, you know, for me, the Garage wasn't just going. It was the whole outfit. It was a
get ready.
It was like getting my outfit from, like, this was planned from Tuesday. Go get the outfit. You know, back then, if you're gonna do a wig or a hat, I always did hats. You know, or leather, and so I never forget. I had these new Kenneth Cole boots. I had just bought these Kenneth Cole boots, and they were canvas and denim, and I wore them to the Garage with no socks. And coming into the club, I was with my girlfriend at the time and her roommate and I think 2 other people. And I'm only 5'2". I'm tiny, you know. And we walk into the club, and just as you walk in, this guy is dancing, and I walk right into his armpit. I mean, that's like literally from coat check to walking into this. Like, I didn't just like brush it. I walked like full into this guy. Oh, like. So that was the start of the night, right?
This is going really great.
The story's going, right? So then I got these shoes on now, and they start to swell. And my feet are literally like, they're killing me. I can't, like, I'm in pain now. I can't take this anymore. So I go to try to, like, kick off the boot. And however I kick this boot, it, like, flies through the air like a football. So now I got one foot on, one foot, and I'm like going through the crowd. You see my shoe? People are like dancing, like, move. Move,
bitch. Get the hell out of my way. You can
you
hear
see my shoe?
You're like going, they don't give a shit about your shoe.
I was so messy. Leaving that place, I said, this is what my life has come to. I ain't going back next week. I'm just like, I'm done. This is like it for me. This will be my garage experience, and that's how I left the garage. Armpit, one shoe, and I literally
you're walking like this.
You're
walking like that.
Because someone must have, I don't know, danced on it, stepped on it.
At the end of that, it went to the garbage.
So let's go to, I think I want to hear, well, we'll close with, we got to play Street Player.
We'll play that, but we got Peach Boys.
Oh, God, no, let's go to, okay, play that one. Okay, now, for everyone, it was Don't Make Me Wait.
Of course.
For me,
who's this one?
It was, and like I said, once again, it must have been the punch or the coffee. Because how I got...
Poor thing's got one shoe on at the club.
Yes, and I had, literally, I couldn't find my shoe. I had to wait until the lights came on. I couldn't find the shoe, and I don't know what happened, but part of the heel broke. So I literally left out.
You look like you're homeless. Mikki's homeless right here on the Karmic Power Wrap-Up Show. Hang on.
So for me, this was my peach. This for me was just, this was everything. This one right here. That nice clap.
Lady Rock. Yo, Lady Rock. What's up, girl? Lady Rock. write some questions too. I see you asking what you know all about this. We know a lot about it, but hit us up with some questions that Mikki may need to answer myself.
Yeah, do that.
Come on.
Ask me a couple questions.
Yeah. Right into the Facebook Live. Manuel Inaro from Europe says, what do you think, dearest Mikki, about WMC this year? Not happening.
WMC is always happening. You got the weather, you know. Come down, enjoy it.
No, but there's no WMC.
I know.
No
when Vegas stops going, then it will be officially over. Okay?
All right, so there you go. It's still going to go on as planned. The week of the 20th, right? Whatever it is. It'll go on as usual. Back to this. Bob Diesel's in. Lorenz Shark, greetings from London. They all loving your story, Mikki. Jamie Toppin wrote before. He runs a big promotion company and used to be at Ariston in UK. And he says, this is wonderful what you guys are doing and speaking about, you know, true. It's like saying true Hollywood stories, true club stories.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, I have a story that I went to visit someone who I met from Facebook who's ill in a hospital.
Oh, yeah, I saw that picture, yes.
And I don't like to use the word battling, but she's, you know, living her life with cancer and kicking its ass right now.
Good for
her. But she was telling me the story, and that Larry lived in her building, you know, after
Gold Street?
No, in Hoboken.
Oh, he was in Jersey? I didn't know that.
Yeah, to the end, late 80s, early 90s. Mm-hmm. And she said, you know, there was a local bar that we all would go to, meaning her, and hang out and dance. And, you know, Larry just, you know, after the garage closed, Larry couldn't get booked. You know, he had the choice that he did. But the kids didn't come.
They didn't support him.
Larry was in bad
At first
shape.
they did. Studio 54 they did, and then it just, from each place, it got worse and worse.
But, you know, she said that Larry had went to him and said, you know, I want to play. And he told her, he says, you know, I can't book him. You know, he's not reliable. He's going to come.
Yeah, that's the problem.
1 week.
He wouldn't show up.
You know, and it's like, I say this because it's like the James Dean story. You know, when you die in your youth and, you know, at your high point, it's almost like you become iconic. And I wonder, you know, if Larry was alive, would he be this icon that he is now? Or would it be, you know, oh, Larry, you know, from the garage? Or even when I'm producing, I tend to produce and say, wow, you know, would Larry play this now? That's always...
It's etched in your brain, right?
It's etched in, amongst other, you know, like, I just did this track. We're going to play that next, if you don't mind.
Sure. I'm going to say this about me and what David Morales and I both said. How many times we would love to hear a lot of the records we mixed in that system, him playing it. We've both said it many times. God, we would love to have heard whatever record.
Yeah.
Chocolate Sister, any record I could have. I know he would have killed this record in that room. And it's you know, and it's time. So you're not the only one that shares that same feeling.
And you know
we
what?
all do.
And then he said, I one day I says he would be proud. And David Tapino wrote on my wall one day. I did this track, Alternative Facts. And I did a video for it.
Yes.
I was just like, this is just showing. I just wanted to do it. I could care less what it did or anything like that. But when I did it, I kind of did it, and I was like, this is going to be one of my over the top kind of things. Some will get it and some won't.
That's okay.
And David said Larry would play that. And for me, that was everything. Are you going to go to the video?
I'm going to get it up so everybody can see alternative facts. Mikki Afflick. Why not? Let's teach them. Let's teach them.
I think it just went.
Alternative.
There you go.
Okay. Let's go to it. Alternate mix, Mikki?
Yeah. So I did this video and I just did the baseline beat, and I was sitting with my keyboard player, and then she came to me and I just freestyle. But those snares, I actually did these snares.
See it. This happened yesterday. It dropped 1,500 points. That was Mikki Afflick with Alternative Facts, her video. Okay, so you now are cutting this video. Tell them all about it.
And
are you paying attention? Look how pretty she is up there. Go ahead.
So I'm going to do this video.
Yeah, what was the reason for the video?
The reason for the video was because I just thought that, like, it was just dope. I just thought the whole track was dope. You know, just my voice, like, you know, does that sound like me?
No.
So, that's me. I didn't write anything down. I just did it right off the top.
And just...
No, I did it in my cell phone. I couldn't stop. It just came to me, and I didn't have time to even go in the booth. I just took my cell phone, and whatever I said, that was it. No, just one take, no edit, nothing. That was just it. Right? And then, you know, the snare drum, which I wanted it to, you know, be like the Russians are coming. But right after that, AME, he did this track that, like, was massive, called Avalon. Same concept of the, you know, the snare drum. So I just, for me personally, as a producer, that's when I started knowing that I'm comfortable in my skin and not caring about what you do need a sense of to care about what your public thinks. But I was so comfortable with me that I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the video. Who gets it, gets it. Who doesn't, does it. And so what? I don't care. Like, I don't care about any chart. I don't care about any placement. None of that matters. When I'm gone, someone will go back.
It's a piece of work,
and they'll look and they'll go, "Wow, who was this woman?" Right? And they'll see that, you know, coming back. You know, I came back in like either 39 or 40, you know, playing beat the clock here, you know, and so
it's all right.
You know, it's
time
very
ages.
No,
you know, we're finding a lot of people older now in this game.
But you know, it's a little harder. It is, you know, it is a little harder.
Oh, I know. I'm not gonna say it's not easy.
And I gotta give a shout out to you know, Calvin and Kimberly and
I gotta play Haven't You Been Funked Enough. Oh yes.
Okay.
Gotta play that. Oh, gotta play that.
This is I think.
Haven't you been funked enough? And I gotta.
If it plays.
I'm doing a rework of that also.
Doesn't want to play.
Try it. Why? It'll play.
Sometime today. So tell us about your rework.
All right, let's go to. All right, it's not playing.
I don't know.
What happened?
I don't know. Maybe she went to sleep.
Gotta go to the 5 minute.
Yeah, I know, to the break section.
Yeah, you just gotta go. So everyone knows. Everyone knows this. I mean, it's been sampled. Everything's been happening. But
Jesus.
In my youth, right? In my Joe Pesci voice. In my youth.
Youths. Your youths?
I was like known to dance this song. Like. You know, these powder, I never needed baby powder. No. That's on you because you couldn't put baby powder.
No baby powder.
And there was no baby powder in the garage. So all this baby powder stuff.
That's later.
That's later. I'm talking about when you danced, you had Capizios, baby. That was your baby powder.
Capizios with the leather bottom.
With the leather bottom. I was able to do I don't even know what you call it, but like, you know, 5 feet off the air, you know, off the ground, legs, do a split, backflip, and then, you know, bounce off the speakers. Yeah, I was, you know, but I was also like 150 pounds lighter at the time.
And a lot younger.
A lot younger.
Crazier.
You know, so, I mean, shouts to the dancers that do their thing, you know, really. But for me, this always, I mean, it just made me, right here, I become a drag queen.
Yeah, you start fanning. What would you advise for producers who are just starting out? Came in from Joe Marcangelo.
Producers that are just starting, I would say it's important to learn your trade inside out. And what type of producer, this is what someone said to me, what type of producer do you want to be? You know, do you want to be just average? Or do you want to be cream of the crop? So, being cream of the crop means that you really, and this is just my worth ethic, is that you really need to become hands-on. And a producer only means manager. Really, that's what a producer is. It means that you're managing and you're financing the project. Now, if you're a musician, if you are an artist, so all of those things, you know, you can incorporate into your production. But I would say, you know every aspect about what it is that you're doing. So if you're actually, you know, producing that record, and if you have a musician, a drummer, a singer, be hands-on. I'm not one for, you know, oh, send me this part or you get the part. You know, you're in Albuquerque.
Oshkosh Bagaj.
Right, and the singer is in Czechoslovakia, and they send you the part, and so you put it. You don't know what key it's in, you know. And I hear some of these things, and I'm like, your drums are not in pitch with these vocals. I don't think people even have an idea that the harmonics, it does make a difference. So you need to kind of, you know, learn your craft with that. Even, you know, with some of the bass lines and the keys that are over these songs, they are just not in key. They sound great. Yeah, and if you're dancing, you don't really, you know, you're not, oh, this is out of keys. I mean, unless it's really, really that bad. But just know your craft.
That's with any job. If you want to be an electrician, know the basics, know what you're doing, because you don't want to put anybody's place on fire.
Right.
Same with the record. Don't be going into a studio not understanding anything what you're doing, or trying to do something where you have you didn't ask questions, somebody didn't help show you something. And then on YouTube, there's so many instructional videos.
When I saw, there was no YouTube.
There was nothing.
We used to have to get the videos. Remember, you had to order the videos. Not 8-track, thank God, but the VHS. Yeah. That's real.
Beta. I get the 8-track.
Oh my God.
She got her 8-track out.
Like grandma here. I'm not that old, but no.
Boom, boom, boom.
But you know, I would get these videos, and I would sit, and then when the CDs came out, rewind and go back, rewind and go back. I went to production school, you know, and I you know, this has been a long road. It seems like it's overnight.
That's exactly right. The story of Whitney Houston.
12 years old.
The story of Whitney Houston.
So we're going to play my first edit.
Before I say that, we're going to play her first edit. But here's always the story you hear. Oh, Mickey's an overnight sensation. Mickey, how many years did it take you to get to that one night when it changed?
I don't even think I'm there yet.
She's still work in progress.
I'm still work in progress. Wait, it hasn't been there
I
yet.
always joke about this. I say, I'm in training. I'm still on my apprenticeship mode. Yes. Decades later.
Yes.
Because you know what? Here's the deal. Things are always changing.
And you're never, the day that you think that you're not learning and you're not growing, heaven must be missing an angel.
Oh my God, one of my favorites.
So
here we go.
Yes.
So this is
your plays, no?
Yeah.
So this is the first thing that I ever touched as a kid.
1976, Tavares. Heaven must be missing an angel. Antonio Palato writes, what young Italian DJ do you like?
I just gotta chill. Pepe
Citarella. He's playing next week for Groove Odyssey Saturday night.
And not only, okay, you heard it first. Pepe and I have a project that's coming out in the summer. You heard it first.
Mikki Afflick and Pepe Citarella.
Yes.
Back to this.
Also, for me, Soul Dynamics also. Those guys from Soul Dynamics.
Soul Dynamics, wherever you are.
Wherever you are,
hit
I'm
us
a
up.
fan.
She's
I'm a fan.
She's a fan.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Okay. So if you want to know who moves me.
Mikki, who moves you?
Who moves me? For me, any Manu. Any Manu. Louis Vega. David for that boom. When I am doing an A and B, which means when I'm
Which David are we talking about? DePino?
David the King, honey.
Morales?
Yes. Get that right, honey.
I just want to make sure we get it right. David the King Morales.
Just that sound when you need that thump in that
that foot in the ass.
David. I like also when I'm looking, I'm just really trying to be when I'm looking. I heard, and I was lucky enough to get it. Sephron Saint has something new that it's just, I'm in love. You know, when I hear it, and it's a cover of Raphael Sadiq's You Got Me Wide Open. What's the song? But I can't just right now, just went blank, but he just did a cover on it that was just amazing.
Okay.
So, you know, I just like when I hear something for the first time, and Louis got some stuff like that now. Like, I Believe, you know, the song that he has with BB Winans, when I hear it and I want to dance and I want to cry while I'm dancing because it feels good. David Morales' Father, that touched me that way. And I have to say, Abika Soul and we're doing some work together. And for me, when it comes to, I don't think that he gets enough credit when it comes to that Afro sound from our side of the pond, of being, you know, a pioneer and a frontier of bringing that sound into, you know, what we call Afro House. So I think that he's kind of one of the forgotten ones that really paved the way for, you know, because I think I'm already like now maybe 6th generation house music, you know, of say with being with the Bodhisattvas and even, you know, Manu, and, you know, you have like say Joe Corcel, Kerry Chandler, and Dennis Ferrer, Ron Trent. That's one, you know, one group, one rack pad. Then you have like the Kings of House, Tony, Louis, David, you know, a couple of others, you know, those are the early pioneers. Then you branched off. So like, I think now for me, I'm maybe 5th, 6th generation, you know, so I never try to put female into my label. I never say I'm a female producer, I'm a female DJ. I just say I'm a DJ and I'm a producer.
Her name is DJ Mikki Afflick.
I don't say just Mikki Afflick.
Just Mikki Afflick.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
So,
listen,
you know,
when we say the DJ, we say DJ Louis Vega,
yes,
DJ Dave Morales.
But I don't like to put that into it.
It's not a male or female thing. That just says what you do.
But for a long time, you know, people still didn't know that I'm female because they're not, you know, a lot of women that are visible, and to the women that are, you know, Paris Yvette, Ananya Vega, Ultranate, Maurice Carr, Kamala, Sabine, Spirits in Motion, Nadia, and Monty. You know, these are people. That, you know, and the ones on the come up. You know, I gotta shout out my girl Love Goddess and DJ Sherez K, and she's also my graphic artist. Cachette. You know, these are women that, and Ila Ife, you know, that Chato, that also we all feed off of each other, you know, and it's very, very, very easy to get caught up in the BS of, you know, the woman thing. I don't get caught up in that, you know. I always see that people try to sometimes put the women against each other. The way I don't see them do it with the men. If it's a female lineup, it's, you know, the catness comes out, the bitchiness comes out of, say, the people, not so much the promoter. But for me, I think it's more important to be on a bill male-dominated than a bill that's female-dominated. And if you want women to stand out, I think stop putting women in an all-female lineup. Put them amongst the great, and if they're capable of doing it, and let them shine.
Right.
You know, why?
Exactly,
why do you do an all, you know, when you have a lineup and it's 5 men on the bill, it's not called an all-male lineup. That's just who the bill is.
Yeah, it's a DJ night. Yeah, yeah.
It's a DJ night, you know?
Yeah.
So,
well, I hate to say this.
we got to close with my new song.
We got to close with her new song. Which one?
Afro Sun. We're going to do the instrumental, Go Down. Right there, Afro Sun, Mikki, right under Gwen. Right above Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Go up, 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 up.
I
right
see.
there.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I have my glasses on. That's right. We want to thank Mikki Afflick from Afflicted for coming out.
Soul Music.
Soul Music. Coming out here and spending time giving us an in-depth journey into her life.
Yeah.
And this is her new track, which you know I'm going to be rocking this on House FM and all over the stations all over the world.
Thank you. You know what that is, right?
Oh, yeah. I love it already.
Do they like it? Thank you.
Make sure you pick up this record. Support our local and international superstar artist. And I want to humbly thank Mikki Afflick. We love you, 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 we love you. I can't say enough about how much we love you. And the whole world loves you. We saw so many people, you know, writing in and from people from the garage. So, you like this look? Yep. I'm going to be changing up. I'm going to soften up for 2018. Keep you out there guessing. I also want to mention that next week we also have another guy that you know, DJ Rocco from France. I love Rocco. Rocco's going to be coming in live on Skype because he's in France, and we're going to be talking. Rocco Rodamaal. I broke one of his early songs in New York back in 2009. Rocco's really talented. He's very, and he's got actually, he's got that song that came out in 2010 that's out again. And also, I will be doing a live House FM show coming from the studio on February 20th. I'm also playing at Crystal Palace in London for Digital Soul on Saturday, February 16th. I'm putting it up, share that. And Mikki's got a lot of information. You can check out Mikki's Facebook site. I'm looking for management, so if anyone's out there that's serious, that can handle her, they need to be able to handle her. I'm not a I'm a teddy bear, but I'm no pushover. See what I'm saying? So, what I just say, you need to handle her. Yeah. Keep her in control. And I'm also looking for someone seriously to help me out with the label, because I do everything. I'm putting together a nice little team of graphic artists, and you know, I have a mastering person, but someone that really I can entrust in. So if you got those skills, hit Mikki Afflick up, because she's looking for a great team. Yeah, and send me, you know, hit me up and send me your resume, your details and stuff, details and things. Thank you guys, I love you, and thank you for your support. All the DJs, all the dancers, all the producers, and just anyone that's, you know, ever bought, played, free download, anything. Mikki Afflick. I want to say something to everybody there and here as well. Because of you, there is no us. Always. And just to give you an idea, this show hit about 30,000 people around the world and growing because of what we do. Oh, great. To the spirit of dance music, the love, the realness. It's all about that. It's not always, oh, we're in a club drinking and everybody's happy. No, it's about real life stuff, what goes on behind all this. So, Mikki Afflick, Lenny Fontana, thank you very much for tuning in and spending your afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the world, with us. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, honey. Okay. Look at that. Look at that thing. 17 shares from my end. Yeah. It's pretty big, right? More than that. You hit. Just give me 5 minutes. Sure. Kathy had to run out, and she's got the okay. Boy. Charlie. Where's my buddy?
trying to figure out how to use it.
Okay.
Close it out. Okay.
That's it.
And then
now, Mikki Soul.
No, I want to wait. Hold on. I want to hear this on your system.
Play whatever you want. You can sit right here, relax.
Nah. Okay. Here we go.
And then hit spacebar, or that just.
Okay.
No.
Gonna share.
Close that up. No, we don't want to share. We want to go like this. So you highlight it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then spacebar.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun, my dear.
It was good. I enjoyed it. Oh, it's ready.